All right, welcome to your Algebra 3 final review video, numbers 6 and 7. Your directions for these ones say use polynomial identities to multiply the expressions. Here's the thing. I actually don't think there's a polynomial identity that does this one. I could be wrong. It's happened before, but I actually really don't think there is one. This one is the same as 2x minus 6 times 2x minus 6. And to be quite honest with you, I think the easiest way to do it is to use our fantabulous box method. If you watched my previous video, we did the box method. You set up your box. The first thing goes on top, 2x minus 6. The second one along the side, 2x minus 6. And we're going to multiply. So in my first box, we're doing 2x times 2x, which gives me 4x squared. My next box, we have 2x times negative 6x, which is a negative 12x. My next one, we have negative 6 times 2x, which is a negative 12x. And my last one, we have negative 6 times negative 6, which is a positive 36. We're going to write it all out. So we have 4x squared minus 12x minus 12x plus 36. We're going to combine our like terms, which are really these guys on the diagonal here, or these two guys here. So we have 4x squared minus 24x plus 36. Again, when I do that, I'm just adding my numbers out front or subtracting them, and that'll give me my final answer. Now, could there probably is some fancy like identity out there that tells us how to do this? Yes. Do I think it'll be possibly easier and faster for you to just do the box method? Also, yes. I also think you're just more familiar with it. So I wouldn't worry about like using the specific identity it tells you to use. You do it however you want to do it. All right, my next one says use polynomial identities to multiply expressions. This one does have a polynomial identity, but again, if you're like, yo, box method, we know how to do that, go ahead and do that. If we set it up, we'd have 2n plus 2 and then 2n plus 2. I am going to talk about how to do this with your polynomial identity. This one is difference of squares. Remember, difference of squares says if you have a plus b times a minus b equals a squared minus b squared. Now we are most familiar with starting here and taking square roots to get to our other answer. But to get to that answer, all you have to do is square a and b. So I already know that a equals 2n because that's my first thing for both. And I know b equals 2 because that's my second thing for both. So if I want to find my final answer, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take whatever I originally had. My first one was a, so we're going to go 2n, and we're going to square it, and then we're going to subtract, because up here, notice we have a subtraction sign, and then we're going to do b squared, so 2 squared. Really, this is a squared minus b squared, which is what we had over here. When I square it, you have to distribute that squared, so 2 squared gives me 4, n squared is just n squared. And then we're going to do minus 2 squared gives me 4. So your final answer should be 4n squared minus 4. Now I'm going to do the other one quick, but I just want to show you get the same answer. So 2n times 2n gives me 4n squared. 2n times 2 is a 4n. This one should actually be a negative because I had a negative up here. So we really have a negative 4n here. Sorry, I wrote x. And then negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. These guys will end up canceling out because they're positive and negative. You end up with 4n squared minus 4. Moral of the story, do it whichever way you like best.